Well, countdown as this week 7 gets underway. There's Cam Ward, the #1 overall pick, getting set to host New England today with his new head coach, his interim coach, Mike McCoy, who was a head coach for 4 years in San Diego and takes over this week as the Titans struggle. Adam Schefter, it is that time of year where we start talking about coaches and their job situations.
Yes, Greedy, that's correct. This was a tumultuous week in the National Football League. We saw the first head coaching change, the Titans firing Brian Callahan and replacing him with Mike McCoy in a week in which Mike Vrabel, who's led the Patriots to 4 wins, as many as the Titans have since Tennessee fired Vrabel, is coming to town with the Patriots. And there are people around the league who believe that the timing of this move had something to do with the fact that Vrabel was coming to town and the owner did not want to see Brian Callahan go up against Mike Vrabel. Now they bring in Mike McCoy. There'll be a lot of changes today, including simplifying the offense for the #1 overall pick, Cam Ward. Much like the Buffalo Bills did for Josh Allen during his rookie year, they want to make sure he's really good at a few things rather than being overwhelmed with a bunch of things. And of course, now that we've seen one head coach change, people are wondering about when we might see a second. To tell you this, the Dolphins are not planning on making a move with Mike McDaniel anytime soon. That's not how they're thinking. That's not in the plans that they play in Cleveland today. We'll see what happens if you lose to a Browns team. But the Dolphins plan on standing by Mike McDaniel here, moving forward into this season, and we'll see how the Dolphins play out. Now, there is the question of their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, whose play has been up and down, but his comments after games, before games, also have been interesting, including the one he made after last week's loss about team leadership.
Have guys showing up to player-only meetings late, guys not showing up to player-only meetings. Like, there's a lot that goes into that. I think it starts with the leadership in helping articulate that for the guys.
As the franchise quarterback, that's not the forum to displace that. I think he knows that now. You're trying to look for reasons that you can attribute to losses, and there's a, heavy is the crown of being a franchise quarterback.
I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. For myself, I got to look at myself as the leader, protecting the team. I don't feel like I did that to the best of my abilities. I felt like I let the emotions of the game get to me after the game. I want to publicly apologize about that.
So tumultuous, to say the least, this week in Miami. And on the daily show that I host on Get Up, this was probably every single day the best conversations we had all week long were about this topic. Teddy, what is your reaction to what we just heard?
That's a joke. That's my reaction. It's a joke. I don't know. If that's true, you were doing absolutely what was best for the team. Because I feel like he's not getting a good example of what leadership is. Okay. Tua comes from Alabama, right? He had Nick Saban there leading, probably let Nick do a lot of it. So he comes to the National Football League and probably still needed to learn how to be a leader. And I just don't think Mike McDaniel is the best example of it. Okay, in terms of what he said, having Tua go up there and apologize, no, you double down on it. If that was true, and you got players not showing up to team-only meetings and you feel like you need to say it publicly, that is leadership. Okay, then what I would have done is the next day, then I say it to those players' faces. If I haven't done it before, I'm going to say it again because this is what's happening, okay? It's all messed up in there, all right? And I think it starts from the head coach. Leadership is confusing if you're looking at this team. If that's the quarterback, because it's got to be head coach, it's got to be quarterback. Yeah. And you two have to be almost the same personality from my experiences are. Because you listen to Brady right now, that's Belichick coming out sometimes. I just hear it because they were so in sync. Right. I think the head coach and the quarterback has to be. It's not in Miami. That is a huge problem.
Yeah, and it's obviously true, or he wouldn't have said it. Okay, that's how I feel about it. So you're right, Brew. He should have doubled down. And look, this all started in the offseason. They had no respect for the guy. By
the guy, you mean the coach, not the
coach. No, 100%. He's not who the hell is he going to inspire? He doesn't inspire anybody. This is the worst defense in the league, too, by the way. And there's a lot of crappy defenses. This is dead last.
And gave up that game last week. They have no business losing that game last week. They have him sacked, Herbert sacked in the pocket, then they can't tackle in the flat, right? Absolutely gave that game away. And you can see why Tua is frustrated, right? And the dysfunction. And again, you talk about leadership from Mike McDaniel. And it's easy to be a leader when you're in the honeymoon phase and you're this unconventional offense and you put up 70 points and everything kind of seems great. the gold frame glasses and the capris work at that point. Now you're 1-5, right? You just gave up a game which you had no business losing. Like, some of that stuff's lost its shine, and this is when real leadership needs to step up, right? It's easy when things are going well, but like, what are you going to do now with your back up against the wall?
Yeah, and by the way, the offense has lost its shine. All right, this is an offense that was built on big plays. All right. And now they're third worst in the league in big plays on offense. So are you telling me nothing's working there? Defense stinks, absolutely atrocious. All right, even though you got a lot of talent there, and you've got your offense can't produce the way it's supposed to be. And so, you look around, there's so many frustrations.
At a certain, there comes a point in time where you tune the coach out. Players have to go play and make plays and win for the organization. And one thing about it, over the last year and a half, 2 years, do y'all know how much flack that Tyreek Hill was getting? He's a cancer. He wants out of Miami, all of this crazy stuff. And then you hear Tua, the quarterback, demand that they're paying all of this money. Leadership, we have a players only. Sorry, buddy, you're out of this one. Players only meeting, but they're not showing up. So what is that saying? If the quarterback's making all this money and we're looking at you, okay, there's going to come a time, let's start today. Shut up and play some football. You're third in the National Football League in interceptions. I'm talking about Tua. So when everybody is looking for a play to be made, we're looking at our quarterback. I remember a couple of years ago, we were just sitting up here when things were going bad with the concussions and stuff, and we were rallying for him for somebody to uplift him. Now everything has been hushed now. Now it's time to shut up and play some football. So today, going up against the Browns, a rookie quarterback, I expect Tua to eat those words that he was talking the last couple of days, coming out, apologizing, and calling guys out. Put up or shut up today. I want to see it.
You're talking about tuning a coach out when you say, I got it, coach. That's what you mean. You mean, I got it, coach. Your message is here. It's all set. But this coach, this tuning out a coach. When owners hire head coaches, okay, this is what I want you to think about. That's the voice, and that's the picture, and that's the man that your players will be seeing every single day. At 8 in the morning, all the way to 6 when they leave. He speaks to them in front of them, at practice, in the meetings, all the time. You want that in front of your players? Look at that picture. Is that the one that you want leading your franchise, okay? That's what you got to think about, because that kind of picture, I'll just be honest with you, I don't see it with Mike McDaniel, okay? If I had to see that man in front of me with some of the things that I've seen him say, and I've watched a lot of his press conferences, and I've watched a lot of him from the Hard Knocks a few years ago, I don't know how I'd be able to play in that locker room, to be honest with you. The man that I want leading me that's going to take you to championships is someone that's the exact opposite of that man in Miami.
As Shefty said, it does not feel as though it's coming to an end that quickly, but it certainly could be headed in that direction. I want to mention also that game today could be significantly impacted by weather in Cleveland. We're looking at significant wind, 24-mile-an-hour winds, and a lot of rain for Tua's Dolphins taking on Dylan Gabriel's Browns. Two other notes on this game, gentlemen.